WKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. Two beloved We Energies peregrine falcons have died of bird flu. Bryn and Beasley were mates and have been with We Energies for 11 years. Bryn was found in the Port Washington nest box, where she had been nesting since 2014. Beasley has not been found, but stopped returning to the box a few days later. The falcons raised 22 chicks together since 2017. At a Milwaukee Public Schools virtual town hall, no reopening timeline and increasingly frustrated parents.
You can't have guidelines, professional people, and still make these grand mistakes.
3 schools have now been closed for 4 weeks to clean lead hazards. Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casillas says the district's budget has enough to cover the lead remediation for now.
We have to continue to advocate for more funding, whether it's state bonding, whether it's city money, whether it's reallocating out the money that's given to us at MPS to prioritize this, because kids having a safe environment is just really basic.
So far, MPS has spent nearly $2 million on 7 schools. More international students have their visas revoked, this time at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. The 10 students and recent graduates from UWM joined the 13 from UW-Madison in having their status terminated. UWM outgoing Chancellor Mark Money confirms no specific reason was given for the revocations, but there is, quote, no reason to believe the terminations are specific to participation in free speech, events, or political activity. The terminations come just 1 month before the end of the spring semester. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I think I just cut myself off. Yep, I did. Anyway. I always do that. There are pros and cons of being tall. I'm not going to lie. I don't ever want to be short. I don't ever want to be short. I used to be short up until, I don't know, right before my junior year of high school. I was like 5'7", 5'8". and then growth spurt. I mean, I'm not mad, but stuff stopped fitting. Stuff stopped. The beautiful thing about it is I could always go to the store and find my size. Not anymore. Now everything is extra large. You know how many extra large people are in the world? The majority of them. And I get to cry about it. Hey, just so you know, it's Pop-Off Friday. And today I want to talk about the same thing that I said I was going to talk about yesterday, and that is the Insurrection Act. So there are rumors going around that they're going to invoke the Insurrection Act for the border. And people are freaking out. This is the time they're going to take over. I've had friends send me texts of articles and it's going to take over, and then they're going to start it. And I'm like, did you read what the Insurrection Act was? Did you read the Posse Comitatus Act? Did you read these things? Or are you just going off and you're like geeked because you're anti-Trump? In other words, it's okay to be anti-Trump, but you need to make sure that what you're hearing is factual. Otherwise, stop scaring people about something. And so I'm going to dive into it today because I'm mad that people are believing erroneous information. I don't really care about the whole Insurrection Act and all that. You need to understand what it is for yourself so you can make a clear decision as to whether or not you want to believe the rumors and believe what it is. That's all. But don't believe it just because you don't like the person who's supposed to have said it. Get some facts. Get some facts. And so people have been asking me, what is the Insurrection Act? Which almost disturbs me because people, of all the things you should know regarding the Constitution, regarding acts that are important, like the Civil Rights Act of 1964, you should know what the Insurrection Act is of 1807. You need to understand what it can do. So when the article is written, it's what the person could do, what the person might do, what is rumored to have occurred, when in fact, you don't know. And so my question is, why are you putting out this story if you don't know what actually happened or if the order was given or anything? But yet we dive into it. We jump in and it must be true because President Donald Trump, this is from the Independent from the United Kingdom. So I did that so that we can hear what other media outside of this country are saying about us. President Donald Trump could invoke a centuries-old law that would authorize him to deploy the United States military to the southern border and order them to assist law enforcement in carrying out his domestic policies. The Insurrection Act of 1807, a rarely used law, allows the president to utilize federal military troops or federalized National Guard troops in order to suppress uncontrollable protests or other civil disturbance situations. Upon entering the office in January, Trump signed an executive order declaring a national emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border. He directed Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to provide a report within 90 days about the state of the border to determine whether to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1904. So why is everybody so upset about that? We had millions of people come across the border. Millions of people are here illegally. When invoked, the Insurrection Act gives the president the authority to deploy the U.S. military or National Guard inside the country to suppress events such as rebellion, insurrection, civil disorder, or to enforce the law in a situation where it has become impracticable to do. The Insurrection Act is not one piece of legislation, but it is a combination of a series of laws enacted by Congress between 1792 and 1871 that specifically address utilizing the military within the U.S. The act is an exception to what's called the Posse Comitatus Act, which typically, can't say that word either, which usually, prevents the federal government from using the federal military or National Guard to enforce domestic policies. Once invoked, the act temporarily suspends Posse Comitatus. Troops could be deployed under 3 sections of the Insurrection Act. First, if it's a state legislature or governor requests federal aid to suppress an insurrection in that state. So that's 1. 2, I was trying to read it. The second allows the president to invoke it without a state's permission whenever they consider unlawful obstructions, combinations, or assemblages or rebellion make it impractical to enforce the law of the United States. And third, it allows the president to invoke the act without a state's permission under 2 scenarios. If any insurrection, domestic violence, unlawful combination, or conspiracy hinders the ability or desire to execute laws that specifically protect people's constitutional rights, or if any insurrection, domestic violence, and they mean domestic violence as in the country, unlawful combination, or conspiracy obstructs the executive of the law or the course of justice under those laws. But before the president can consider it, you have to first make a proclamation asking insurgents or those obstructing the enforcement of laws to disperse peacefully within a certain amount of time. So he would have to ask people who are here illegally to leave and give them X amount of time. Then if they don't, then he can enforce it. Right? Posse Comitatus, what we talked about, limits the power of the federal government in the use of federal military personnel to enforce domestic policies within the United States. So in general, you can't use federal troops to enforce Milwaukee law or state law. The National Guard are just that. Under the governor's control, the governor can say, hey, we need the National Guard. Have them come up here, and the Milwaukee River is overflowing, and we need to put sandbags down. We need them to come do it. So that's what you do. When 9/11 hit, that same National Guard was activated. They went federal, and they were gone because the president has the right to do that. But Posse Comitatus says you can use them, you just can't use them here. They can go fight a foreign war. And so one of the things we have to remember is that this is for the border. When I come back, I'm going to talk about an article that I read that there's a fear in America that once this happens, Donald Trump is going to take over the United States of America. And at some point, at the rate we're going, is that true? What do you believe? 833-212-1017 is the number. Do you understand the Insurrection Act to the point where you believe this country's in trouble or not?
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tory Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube. How? Every day from 1 to 4. I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tory Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube. Now that's powerful.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
At Gruber Law Offices, we've helped tens of thousands of families after a serious accident. Our priority has always been our clients. We're here for you whenever you may need us. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I almost adjusted my seat. I was like, let me look over here. Okay, I'm too close to everything. It's not my fault people are short. It's not. It is not my listen. Short people are short people. 833-212-1017 is the number. The Insurrection Act, something we need to be afraid of, something we need to know about. What? Is it? I don't know. Personally, as long as it's kept in line with what's going on the border, I don't really care. But what other instance is going on that he would use the Insurrection Act of 1807 to do anything? I'm just asking. Because everybody's panicked. And everybody's like, oh my God, the world's going to come to an end. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Well, I don't think Donald Trump is healthy enough by the way he acts. But my thing is, wouldn't he have to use that same act to dig up his mother, considering she came over here illegally herself in 1933, Mary Ann, on a Transylvanian ship with $50 in a box?
I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
Because see, a lot of this chaos is coming from him not looking in the mirror, considering he's a product of one. And you can't say you are American and being against the type of people when you're sleeping with the same people that you helped get papers yourself, and when he's a product of one. So it doesn't look good to American people, especially people who served and fought in the war, who was not a draft dodger, who's talked all this stuff, and then they got all this chaos here talking about legal immigrants when half of the stuff he wear on his clothes is from another country. That does not make you look American. It makes you look like a hypocrite and a bald-faced liar.
All right, thank you much.
And if people use the basic common sense and looked in their household, the Republicans did, they wouldn't have nothing in the house. It would look like a straight dope house. The majority of stuff in their house is from another country.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
I guess he's been in a lot of Republicans' houses. I don't know. That was different. 833-212-1017 is the number. I mean, at some point, there's nothing you can do. He's the president. He won. That's it. Me personally, it's just like the stock market. Everybody was screaming and hollering. I said, it'll turn around. Oh, no, it's not. We're going to die. And then it turned around. So that's all I'm saying. Like, at some point, let's take a deep breath. Let's pause and figure out what it is we're going to do, because I'm not hearing from any black anybody about what to do. Yeah, there are a few stories and people, screaming the sky is falling. But in the end, what are we going to do? And are we going to do it with the same people who are, like, not doing anything now? Because I don't think it'll change. If that act is invoked, it has to be for what he stated the emergency was, and that's the border. I think there are enough level-headed people, and there's Congress, I hope, and the U.S. Supreme Court that'll stop him from acting foolish. But will it? Ad hominem attacks, saying what his mama did, brother, draft dodger, calling people names, isn't going to take away the fact that he can do it. We now have to look to Pete Hegseth, which is, and Kristi Noem to say, no, we're okay. We got this. We got enough personnel. We have enough people. We could do this. Praying that they do that. Otherwise, it's going to turn crazy. Otherwise, it's going to turn weird because they're going to send troops to the southern border to stop people from coming in. Granted, it's dried up pretty good. It's pretty much dried up. So, what are we fighting for? RC said, the question is, at what point do you secure your borders? What was cannot be now or again. I don't understand what that means. What was cannot be now or again. Oh, you mean the people that came in? Yes, that's true. We can't let millions and millions of people in and then pretend like they're not here illegally and then tell them they can't leave. You lie when you say a person is an immigrant, but they didn't fill out any paperwork to make themselves an immigrant. An immigrant is someone that's here legally, who makes a request, fills out the paper, waits for it to come, gets the visa, comes to the country. Hey, I'm here. I want to claim asylum. I want to start the citizenship, like whatever. They do that. But I agree, you can't have immigration without paperwork. Like, literally, it's not immigration. It's illegal. But we would have you think we're going after those poor people. If you can arrest Ray Ray for some weed that's legal in other states, you can arrest immigrants, illegal immigrants. And I'm not mad about it at all. If you're here and you can't change your mind, you can't say, well, they're from Haiti. Well, okay, but they're here, they're illegal. And of course, Al said, like Trump's wife and his parents. That was then, this is now. He did what every other white, rich guy did for somebody they wanted to marry or family they wanted to bring in. He paid for it. He bought it. Don't get mad. RC said people keep pointing to the past to justify future immigrants. These aren't immigrants. Immigrants come legally. We're talking about the illegal ones, the ones that don't belong here, that are already here. Like, you don't get a right to stay in any country if it's not your country of origin. You don't get to say, I think I'm going to go to Australia and I'm going to just hang out there. No, they'll throw me out. And I think the closest U.S. territory is what, Samoa? Like, really? They said it'll be warm. Hey, Al, it's not an excuse. I know you have trouble dealing with facts, but there's not a lot you can do. It's not. And we keep getting mad and upset, screaming and hollering about stuff we can't change. You can't change the fact that he's the president. They just charged the dude that was like at the golf course down in Florida looking to shoot him and all that. They just charged him. The Justice Department just charged him. And so where's he going to go? He'll probably get found guilty, go to prison. For thinking about killing somebody, not doing it. Thinking about doing it. 833-212-1017 is the number. What do you want to pop off for today? What you want to pop off on? Who you want to? Nah, don't say who. Nope, we're gonna scratch that. Scratch that. Then y'all be like, I want to pop off on DJ Brother Z. He played some music. And then it'll just be, you know. If I told y'all what he told me, you would do this too. And now with 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk Traffic is Debbie Lazaga.
Eastbound 94, we do still have this problem with the two left lanes blocked at Blue Mound Road crash, and that is making for big delays all the way back past Highway 16. More delays as you're making your way from about 68th Street through the Stadium Interchange. Westbound 94's got some backups from 20th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Southbound 43, a hefty ride from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River. Northbound slow from Kilbourne to Keith. And southbound 41, a hefty ride from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with some frost, a low of 34. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and pleasant, a high of 54 at the lakefront, 60 inland. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Finding stable housing shouldn't be a struggle. The Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center connects renters, property owners, and partners to the resources they need, whether it's rental assistance, legal aid, mediation, or tenant education. No matter what your situation is, you do not have to go at it alone. Get assistance today by visiting renthelpmke.org. That is renthelpmke.org. mke.org or stop by their office at 728 North James Lovell Street in Milwaukee. At the Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center, they are here for all your housing needs.
It's 4-on-4 day weekend, Milwaukee, and there's no other way to celebrate it other than kicking it with Jim with Juice, live at Clicks in Sherwood. This Saturday, April 12th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. We're celebrating all of Milwaukee as Clicks drops the new 4-on-4 day shoe with Adidas. There will be custom sneaker art and flash tattoos, food from Toya's Kitchen, and it's all going down at Clicks in Sherwood. Don't miss the celebration, celebrating life, love, and hip-hop here in Milwaukee. It's amazing!
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So, Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do, but I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/thereason to get started.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snime. The Milwaukee Brewers dropping a tough one on Thursday afternoon in Game 3 out there in Colorado. They lose to the Rockies by a final score of 7-2. The loss dropping the Brewers to an overall record of 7-6 on their season. They'll face Arizona tonight to begin a 3-game series. That first pitch all set for 8:40. Next up, we'll head to the NBA where the Milwaukee Bucks get win number 6 in a row, 136-111 over the New Orleans Pelicans. The win improving the Bucks to an overall record of 46-34. They entered the day number 5 in the Eastern Conference playoff race. Head coach Doc Rivers after the game on heading into the playoffs.
I'm looking forward to it. I think the crowd in Detroit's going to be amazing. They're going to play hard. They're going to play well, and we're going to have to match it. I can't pick up a better scenario going into the playoffs.
The Bucks and Pistons tonight from Detroit. That tip-off is set for 6 p.m. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You know, there's a lot of buzz surrounding the draft, but you won't find one seeping through Pella's Windows and Doors. In fact, you should make Pella your number one pick because right now you can take advantage of no interest financing options or a free glass upgrade. Their talented designers and installers can match your unique home through seamless customization. So, certain restrictions apply, and the deal ends April 30th. So, place your free in-home consultation right now, today, at PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com. I can play the piano like that. It's only like 3 notes. Da-da-da-da. That's all I can play. I'm just saying. You don't believe me?
No.
You can't talk on my radio show no more. You can't.
That's fine with me.
Wow. See how you don't even listen. I tell him he can't talk and he goes, okay. Remember your brother used to say, shut up. Okay. I told you to stop talking. Okay. What? And you end up getting yourself a spanking because you did what you were told to do. You answered the person that was talking to you. You hear me talking to you? Answer me. But you said, it's just like, whoo. Yeah. Just one of them things. Kids got to put up with a lot of stuff these days. A whole heap of bunch of stuff. So, Sandra has been calling over the last few years. And by the way, if you have a comment, you got something you want to pop off on, it's 833-212-1017. It's the number. Sandra's been going off on the tire piece and all the tires being dumped. And so the other day they found people, and I think they're going to charge them and dumping hundreds of tires or dozens and whatever. Now, this is me. I'm pausing because it's the time to be vulnerable. I can live with a lot of stuff. I can put up with a lot of stuff. But when I saw this story, I'm speechless. CBS58.com. A Milwaukee man will make a plea in court today after more than 50 dead dogs were found on his property. Michael Ellis was charged in September with 5 felony counts of mistreatment of animals. Local animal activists, advocates are close to the case. So volunteers from Friends of Maddock, Milwaukee area dog and cat something, I don't know, are pushing for Michael Ellis to get the maximum sentence in a animal abuse case. One volunteer calls the most horrific thing she's ever seen. Last August, officials say a city worker visited Ellis's foreclosed home near Titonia and Villard and was met with a foul odor. Police and Maddock workers found more than 50 dead dogs, reptiles, and birds. Many were in crates. And officials said they had no access to food or water. Volunteers say 20 animals were rescued alive, 3 dogs, and 17 reptiles. The house has since been demolished. So, do people do that for people? I mean, we wake up to some of the most odd. Again, I'm speechless. I find it amazing. We don't write stories about people complaining about people dying in the street. Kill dogs? Oh, the Friends of Maddock are out. Where's that when people are lying in the street dead? When cars are speeding too fast. Oh, that has anything to do with us because we're about dogs and cats. I get it. But some of those fast driving cars can run over dogs. Well, what about that? Right, you forgot about it. Figures. And so here we have Maddock. It's the most egregious thing I've ever seen in my life. The most horrific thing I've ever seen. Okay. Okay. Friends of Maddox volunteers have been sending letters to the district attorney's office throughout the case saying, animal abuse cannot be tolerated, but if you shoot somebody human, we got nothing to say. Those are my words. I really hope that the district attorney will not allow this to go to a plea bargain where he gets no time. I hope he actually does see time for this, says Cindy Steinley, volunteer humane investigator, Friends of Maddox. So why are we pushing so hard about somebody killing a dog? I get the fact that, one, it's illegal. Two, it's immoral. And three, it's a crime that is not punishable by death. So the vitriol that comes over people harming a dog, when we don't have that same response when it's a human being, I just don't understand it. 833-212-1017 is the number. Ann said, I don't believe that our president wants to be a dictator. I think he gets frustrated with the unaddressed inefficiency, stupidity, and outside threats. The economy, world affairs, national security are way above my pay grade. I am still upset with mandated COVID shots for many at all. The shutdown of schools, businesses, and churches has left, I'm assuming she said, lasting impressions. And then she said, glad I never had the COVID vaccine. Why, though? Like, what happened to you if you had gotten it? Would you have turned into a pumpkin? I don't know. Me personally, I don't think so. When we come back, we got calls, we got talking texts, and you're listening to Truth in the Afternoon.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Brewers baseball is the sound of summer in Milwaukee. And now you can catch the Brewers on local TV for select Tuesday night games.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she
It's
goes.
Brew Crew Tuesdays. On April 15th, the Crew take on the Detroit Tigers at 6:40 p.m.
Swing. He went. Another strikeout for Freddie Peralta.
This Brew Crew Tuesday is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. See the action on Fox 6 in Milwaukee and check your local listings for where you can watch over the air statewide on April 15th.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
April Brewers action rounds out with the matchup against the Tigers and Athletics. Catch the series opener April 14th as the first 10,000 fans get a Brewers t-shirt designed by Unfinished Legacy. Then get Brewers collectibles at back-to-back games against the Athletics. First up, Peanuts Night on April 18th, featuring a Franklin bobble with special tickets. And don't miss a Brewers football jersey for the first 25,000 fans April 19th. Get set for an action-packed April at Brewers.com.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing Coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing Coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe Coaches are here to help.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You ever tell somebody, hey, I better not see you at 3:15. It's on. Now, here's the problem. If you're going to fight somebody, one, don't make sure they're not bigger than you. That's a little bit. But the second part is, what makes you think they're going to be there? Like, that's the dumbest thing. I better not see you at 3:15. Dude, thank you for letting me know I need to run home. Thank you very much. 833-212-1017 is the number. Sandra, what are you doing? It's Friday. Why aren't you out there? It's like 50 degrees outside. You should be out partying.
I am. I am going after a while.
Ooh,
but I'm out here with my animals. Huh?
You going where?
The right said again.
Who do you want?
Say it again. I'm going to go out after a while.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm going to party off of Janet Jackson.
Oh.
Well, we're here doing it now. You was playing it, I'm doing it.
See how you ruin my hour? Trying to chill, trying to slow down. You play fast music.
Oh.
Can you imagine going in and complaining about that? Excuse me, I would like to complain. He played fast music on a Friday, and it was just totally unacceptable. I would like to go in a record store. They'll throw your kid out.
I was in my doorway. I was jamming. What you talking about?
Will you stop proving me wrong? Hush. Stop.
I got to make sure to get out there and do it, see. I want you to get out there and have some fun. Because you got another hour or so. That ain't too bad.
Yep. Hey, question.
Yeah, I heard you call my name.
Yes, I did, because I know y'all had tires and all that, and this dude had 50 animals in his house.
Yeah.
He got arrested.
Yeah, I got 3 right now. I got 3 animals right now looking at me.
No. They were dead.
Oh, yeah. There's, I heard you saying the smell and all of that, yeah. Well, what I got to say about this, humans don't have no sense. They go to school, they go from kindergarten to however well they get educated. Now, this man ain't got no sense. But a dog, you have to train them. They can't talk back to you. In fact, they don't understand nothing you say. If you go to training class, they teach you all of that.
That's true.
This man has supposed to have some sense.
Yeah, but what were your neighbors doing? Like, what were your neighbors doing?
Well, maybe they like the smell. Maybe they like the smell.
Nah, come on. Nobody likes that. Okay, I'm done.
Look at Jeffrey Dahmer. That house smell was horrible. I went to school up there. I'm sitting there, how you going to smell this smell? And then this man was whatever.
Because you get used to it. But 50 dead dogs? Come on now.
But the people probably got used to the smell.
50 dead dogs.
That's crazy, though. It's crazy. Yeah. I don't get upset with the animals. People supposed to have some sense. They're supposed to have some sense.
Oh.
If they don't have no sense, lock them up, I guess.
No,
lock them up, throw their
people up because they got. Oh, Sandra.
They got no sense.
Sandra, I got a question.
Dead dog.
Sandra, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Are you going to the 4th annual Tory Lowe community cleanup tomorrow?
No, because I don't know where he's going. What areas he's going to do.
I don't know. What areas is he going to do? He said it on
He
the
never
show.
said it.
Yes, he did. He said it on
I
the show.
never heard him say what areas.
You didn't hear it.
I didn't hear him say the
I heard him
areas.
say it on his show. Well, you
I have to go back and listen.
You have to go to truthcommunitycleanup.com, and you can click which site you want to go to, and then meet him, and then meet him there.
Well, if it ain't my area, I ain't meeting him there. Because I've been trying about this area for years. I mean, I've been here. I had this house ever since 71, and there was nothing like this. And now all of a sudden you lose I mean, it's just a junk pile. It's just houses boarded. Now, a lot of spots are empty, and they belong to the city. That's what I always tell you. Then the city can just, the houses belong to the city. Tear it down, make a park. You can make a park out of this area, really.
It is Pop-Off Friday, so.
And it'll be real pleasing. But I ain't going to clean over there.
Then
they
you're going to be
right by
complaining
me,
people
and I'll clean up over there.
You're going to be complaining people are hanging out in the park.
Look, if they come over here, then I'll go over there and I'll help them all the time. I don't mind helping anybody.
All right.
But I'm not going to be out there and I'm fighting for it. But another thing I was just going to say real quick, I know you got some other people. I was just going to say about the part where I think it's going to be a dictatorship in the future. I really think that's going to come along too.
Okay.
But I'm not worried about that because, like I told you, you know how old I am. So I don't think it'll affect me.
Yes, ma'am. Have a great weekend.
Okay.
All right.
You too. And Jason, is that Jason?
No, ma'am. It's Greg.
Who's that with you?
It's Greg.
Greg. Okay. I never met Greg. Okay.
All right.
Greg, have a nice weekend too. Okay.
I couldn't. Especially when I've said your name like 12 times. It's like, who's Greg? Wow. Glenn.
I guess I'm not doing a good enough job back here.
You're not. No, you're not. You got to answer the phone. You got to say your name. You got to come on now. You got to get with it. What's your name? Greg? Glenn? Goo-goo? I don't know. The caller, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. What do you want? Why are you harassing me this weekend?
I wanted to talk to you, my brother. You know, anytime it's a nice day, I have to call in instead of text.
It can't be a nice day when you're out there and I'm in here. It is not a nice
Every day is a nice day. You got a chance to wake up and open your eyes.
Speak for yourself.
And
speak
what
for
I would
yourself,
like to encourage
me.
Elder Brother is that if you start off the day with that,
nope,
that is the cake and everything else is the icing.
For you.
And it leads to a very happy existence.
For you.
Give it a shot and let me do it for a month, and then if it don't work, I'll come up with something else.
How about mind your own business?
Huh? You being continuing to be able to be on the radio is my business.
It is not.
I derive pleasure from being able to be a significant contributor. And with that,
I wouldn't call you
I heard a really smart guy.
How are you a significant?
Pop-Off Friday.
Yes, sir.
I heard a really smart guy say this thing recently on how, unfortunately, my generation, millennials, and the Gen Zs have continually been able to withdraw from the efforts of people like John Lewis, people who are, and even younger baby boomers I put in this category.
There's no such thing as a younger baby boomer.
From this bank account
Time out.
Malcolm X, Dr. King, and
hang on.
Let me finish my sentence.
The younger baby boomer is in their...
like anybody who's under 75. If you didn't graduate high school by 64...
I reject that.
He was talking about you.
I reject that.
So he was talking about people your age. You know, the Soul Train high-heel shoe guy. So he was saying that we have been withdrawing from the efforts of people like Dr. King, Medgar Evers, John Lewis, and not depositing. And that's how you come up with a situation where we have such lower voter turnout that, you know, a simple 8% could put somebody who actually said, unfortunately, against the point that Ann said, who says that they want to be a dictator like Hitler out loud.
Okay, but we're not talking about that. But go ahead.
And I'm just saying, she said he doesn't want to be one. He said that. He wants generals like Hitler. Am I lying?
Go on.
Okay, so the continuum of that, where we keep taking away and not adding to, like people complain about kids not being able to read. Well, I think every person who says that, this person had a good remedy for that.
Which is what?
If, for example, you were the kid for more than 10 minutes in a car, for example, this guy said he always had books that they could read, and he would have them read to him so he would get a chance to see how they would enunciate, and that helped the people in his family and any kids that he was around to become literate, at a very young age. And just doing those things are those initial things that we can do before we get involved with any government or anything. It's up to you as a black person. If you don't teach, like my grandkids already know about certain things in black history, and that interest has been sparked. So the saying that I'm sure you're familiar with from the 70s, 60s and 70s.
You got about 30 seconds.
Teach one.
You got about 30 seconds.
Teach one is what I'm here to pop off about. And so, like Tori Lowe says, boots on the ground means that whatever you can do one-on-one with another individual, and that's why I started with what I said, for you to believe that every day that you wake up is a gift. And that's my gift to you, my brother. God bless you. Drive safe.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. Okay, I'm just giving him trouble. So while I'm okay with that, I'm tired of people telling everybody else what they need to do. And you never start out with what you do. Like, we're really fast, black people are really fast at telling everybody else what they need to do or why they think something is working or not working. But what are you doing? Like, give me your list of what you do to give back or take care of your family or do those things. Top 5 at 5 is coming up. And then after that, I'm going to tell you what I did to make my family successful. What I did and what I went through to make sure children have what they have and what they need and how they can be better off than what I was. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. News and Top 5 up next.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform, and on my show, our community always has a voice. There is no topic that is off limits, and I always give you my authentic opinions on how I feel, because keeping it real is the only way I know how to get down. Listen to Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
It's a big week for Clicks Shoe Store, Milwaukee.
That's right. Clicks is dropping their latest 414-day shoe with Adidas this Saturday. But we'll be doing a special giveaway of these exclusive shoes this Friday, April 11th on Jammin' with Juice and the Tori Lowe Show.
Then on Saturday, April 12th, Truth Nation, Jammin' with Juice will be broadcasting live from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at Clicks' 414-day shoe launch party.
It's a Clicks big week, so make sure y'all tap in.
It's amazing.
Want to help build a better Milwaukee? 1MKE is a nonpartisan coalition of over 70 community partners, making it easier to plug in to what matters. From local services that can save you time and money, to events that build community, to voting resources to ensure your voice is heard. Whether you're new to civic engagement or ready to level up your impact, there's a place for you at 1MKE. Learn more, get involved at 1mke.org. That's 1mke.org. We are 1MKE.
Are you looking for an opportunity to better the Milwaukee community? Do you want to develop your skills for a career or job? City of Milwaukee is recruiting for its 16th cohort of AmeriCorps members. We are hiring young adults ages 18 to 25 to serve our amazing scholars in Milwaukee Public Schools. This opportunity allows you to serve your community and gain professional development, which will allow you to enter the workforce, your next educational journey, or even stay with us for a second year of service. Visit cityyear.org to connect with our local recruiters and learn how to apply by Friday, May 2nd.
Being a caregiver for a family member can be very rewarding. It can be very challenging, too. Besides taking a physical and emotional toll, it can also take a real financial toll, especially if you're paying for home safety upgrades, covering medical expenses, cutting back on hours at your job, or having to leave your job altogether. In some states and in certain situations, you may be eligible to get paid for the care you provide, but finding reliable information about caregiver compensation can be overwhelming and very time-consuming. The AARP Foundation Paid for Care Hub can help. It's a free online tool developed with support from United Healthcare, where you can search compensation programs, explore your options, and get answers to frequently asked questions. Find out today if it's possible to be compensated for the time, effort, and care you're providing. Visit paidforcare.aarpfoundation.org to learn more.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. Two beloved We Energies peregrine falcons have died of bird flu. Bryn and Beasley were mates and have been with We Energies for 11 years. Bryn was found in the Port Washington nest box, where she had been nesting since 2014. Beasley has not been found, but stopped returning to the box a few days later. The Falcons raised 22 chicks together since 2017. At a Milwaukee Public Schools virtual town hall, no reopening timeline and increasingly frustrated parents.
You can't have guidelines, professional people, and still make these grand mistakes.
3 schools have now been closed for 4 weeks to clean lead hazards. Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casillas says the district's budget has enough to cover the lead remediation for now.
We have to continue to advocate for more funding, whether it's state bonding, whether it's city money, whether it's reallocating out the money that's given to us at MPS to prioritize this, because kids having a safe environment is just really basic.
So far, MPS has spent nearly $2 million on 7 schools. More international students have their visas revoked, this time at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. The 10 students and recent graduates from UWM joined the 13 from UW-Madison in having their status terminated. UWM outgoing Chancellor Mark Money confirms no specific reason was given for the revocations, but there is, quote, no reason to believe the terminations are specific to participation in free speech, events, or political activity. The terminations come just 1 month before the end of the spring semester. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I got to tell you. So I hope they're not listening. There's a couple that's sitting outside and they're like talking. And so you can tell when somebody's kind of like on a first date, because she's sitting there with her legs crossed and she's got her arms folded. You know how you're closed in, like like this. But her legs are crossed. In the time that I've been sitting here, she's gone from like this on the table, leaning up. What's this? She's gone from like this, leaning, that now she's sitting like this. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not stupid. No, dude. No. No. Because then I'm going to do this, and then, boop, the camera will show, like, do I look? Like, first of all, I'm insulted that you would think that I would be so stupid. Hey, can you move your tablet to, come on, dude. I know. Like, how'd that happen? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you do that, no, thank you. Well, at least now she's sitting like this. Do I need to put something in front of that camera? Yes, I do. Because I'm watching your mouse. So here's the deal. So she's sitting there, and you can tell nonverbal communication. If you're attracted to somebody, not even attracted, that's wrong. If you're listening to somebody and attentive or attracted to them, you face them. Your toes face them, your hands face them, your body might lean slightly forward. But if you're leaning like this, and your feet are off to the side or crossed, you are not feeling that person at all. And now, look, the person's sitting like this. It's over. What Tori say? It's time to tap out.
Trash.
But it's interesting. So the entire time I've been here, they've been there. Her food is eaten. His food is eaten. Ain't nothing in none of the containers in front of it. She looked like she's waiting for an out. It's time to go to it. Just kind of mumbling. When really it's time to go. Wow. What you say? Don't tell him if you can't tell. Nothing. Uh-oh, this one, y'all. You know what that means? Dude, will you hurry up? Oh, wow. Hey, he's shooting his shot, though. Got to give it to him. Shooting his shot. Woo, 833-212-10. It's Pop Off Friday. I'm just popping off about somebody else's business, right? I'm just saying. Oh, Lord.
Number 5.
What is this? So evidently I emailed the wrong form. So here's what we gonna do. Because I looked at number 5 and I'm like, ain't that the story I had yesterday? Isn't this the story I had? And then I realized it's the wrong date, dummy. It's the wrong date. Now yesterday, what is going on with okay, I quit. It must be Friday. It literally must be Friday. So we already hit number 5, right? So maybe they need this too. A South Milwaukee high school, this is from CBS 58, is requiring students to take a breathalyzer test at prom. Have you ever been somewhere where they made you take a breathalyzer? And I mean, not when you got arrested for OWI, but I mean, when you think of high school prom, you tend to think of elegant dresses, music, and dancing, not breathalyzers. However, students at South Milwaukee High School, if they want to take part in their big night, they'll have to take a breathalyzer test when they arrive. I thought prom was supposed to be a big part of high school. Everybody's supposed to go to prom and be this big thing, but now people don't want to go anymore. Would you go to prom if they made you take a breathalyzer? That's a question.
Yes, because you're not supposed to be drinking underage.
I don't even know how to. Did you drink underage?
Yes.
Okay, then. So what the heck you talking about, dude?
Politically correct answer.
That's not a politically correct answer. That's a true and that's a true and accurate answer. Prom preparations are well underway for the high school. However, some students say they were surprised when they read about what they should expect at this year's prom. It was confirmed when I bought the tickets the other day. It's in the fine print. You have to agree to be breathalyzed and go through a metal detector. Nope. So here's the kicker. A detailed prom letter on the school's website says that when students arrive to the dance, guess where the dance is at?
Baird Center.
Yeah. So you got to go through that anyway. Underage at night, yeah, you're getting up. Do you feel sorry for these kids? I don't. Too bad. And you know who really ruined it for them? They did. They did. I'm just saying.
Number 4.
This from Fox6Now.com. A Harley-Davidson board member resigned after recently expressing grave concerns about the current state of the company to the board. Severe underperformance and cultural depletion are cited in a scathing letter to Harley-Davidson. And additionally, earlier this week, Harley-Davidson confirmed it began its search for a new CEO on last year. In 2020, the new CEO, Jochen Zeitz, was at the helm, and Harley unveiled its 5-year strategic plan called The Hardwire. The goal was to increase profits and broaden customer base. Now in its final year, the overall direction of the company is under fire. Earlier this year, Harley-Davidson confirmed it began searching for a new CEO last year. Well, here's the kicker. You put yourself out of a job if you said you're giving yourself 5 years, and then it's 5 years. The search process was initiated in Q4 of 2024 after the CEO expressed his interest in retiring. I guess they paid him enough money. Investment firm H Partners owns more than 9% of the company stock. Jared Dauderville joined the board in 2022 on H Partners' behalf. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission filing shows that he wrote a scathing letter to the board of directors on April 1st, calling for the immediate resignations of Zeitz and other leaders, including presiding director Tom Linebarger and board member Sarah Levinson. Interesting. He also expressed grave concerns about the current state of the company. He said it's underperformance, cultural depletion, white-collar work-from-home policy, and turnover. On the other side, in response, Harley-Davidson said in the SEC filing that Mr. Dauderville was not a dissenting voice in the boardroom as to matters he raised in his letter, noting that in more than 3 years on the board, he has never voted against the director majority on any matter except one, the board's decision not to extend an offer to his preferred CEO candidate. So the bottom line is this is telling of what's going on. Do I got to keep watching y'all? What are y'all doing? Okay. I know you're not watching a YouTube chat, but that's okay. I'm just giving you trouble, man. Relax. It's Friday. See? He just put, like, I don't know that you got tabs and you can just click. Come on, dude. Sometimes people who are younger think that people that are older are stupid. And I'm going to leave it at that. Uh-oh, up and moving. Okay, she's getting her coat, but he's not getting his. That was funny. That was funny. So, did I hit number 3 yet? No. Did I? Yes or no? No, I didn't.
No, you did not.
Okay. See, just say no. Just gotta.
Number 3.
It's Friday. From theroot.com. So here's the deal. And I'm going to ask whether or not I don't know how to ask this. I think I'll do it with both of y'all so that you'll be safe. All right? He looked lost. So we're watching this couple outside, and he's like, oh, wait. You see that? No wonder she was looking the way she looked. Dude showed up on a scooter. Aren't you taking me home on the... It's 40 degrees outside. Would you like for me to drop you off? Sure. You walk up and it's a scooter.
Move this man!
A scooter! No wonder she was like, she was holding off the inevitable. All right, I got to get on this scooter. So that is funny. That is funny. Oh, my goodness. That just made my, you know what? Play upbeat music for the rest of the show. I'm just saying. Get out of here. So have you heard of Quinta Brunson?
Is that a person?
Yes.
Can you repeat that name one more time?
Quinta Brunson.
I've never heard of that person.
You know her face. You don't know what TV show she's from?
Is she on the Abbott Elementary TV show?
Yes. He just told you I know. Y'all be faking.
I know
Oh,
my
no,
stuff.
I knew that. Dude, you paused too long. You probably Googled it. Stop.
I know you are not talking about long pauses.
Did you just holler at me on the air?
Oh, 100%.
It's my show. I can pause if I want to.
Do it.
See? Y'all silly. You all are silly. 833-212-1017 is the number. Emmy Award-winning actress, comedian, producer Quinta Brunson has sparked a heated online debate based on comments she made during a recent appearance on Amy Poehler's Good Hang with Amy, the podcast. During their sit-down, Brunson told Poehler that she doesn't know white people. Everybody's faces went like, wait, what?
Huh?
A statement that has given her serious side eye. So the comments were made in response to a question sent in by one of Brunson's friends and former BuzzFeed coworker who wanted to know if Quinta finally realized that John Bon Jovi is the lead singer of the band Bon Jovi. Brunson replied, quote, I don't know white people. I know you. I know Tina Fey. And that's it. I know white people in comedy. But some listeners are still calling BS on Brunson's statement, considering she was married to a white guy, Kevin Anik, for 3.5 years. Someone on X... Say what?
Dumb.
Okay. Did anybody tell him I don't like those? Did I tell him? Okay. You get a pass because it's Pop-Off Friday. So you can keep playing them. He was going to do that anyway. He was like, play them anyway. No, that's fine. It's not fine for DJ Brother Z to do it, but you can do it. Why did my phone start ringing when I said that? Uh-oh. She said, now you all tell me if it's something that's wrong. Someone wrote on X, I hate when black people who date, surround themselves with white people, try to act like they're this anti-white, pro-black activist, like, LOL, you sleep with one every night. You know white people. The actress went on to say that she's always had a hard time keeping white celebrities straight. I used to get white people mixed up for the longest time, not anymore. But there was no reason for me as a young girl in Philadelphia to understand the difference between Sandra Bullock and Julia Roberts. Agree or disagree? Is she?
She played herself.
Tell me more.
I mean, you can't act as if you're unaware of people's existence when you actually associate with someone that is the color you're talking about.
But is it because you know people? That, I mean, historically, eyewitness testimony. People of the same race can identify people of the same race better and more accurately than people of a different race.
Depends on your background. It depends on where you grew up at.
Nope. It does not. We notice familiarity, and we notice nuances in familiarity. If you don't look like me, I glance over, you look alike. That's why when the police used to, before all the political correctness hit, you were black, white, Hispanic, or Asian. So if I chased you, you would be a white male or black male based on the short time I saw you, and then I started chasing you and you ran. You look like a black male, you look like a white male. You might be African, you might be from Haiti, you might be from, right? But you could be Hispanic, but you look white. So they're going to say a white male, and then they're going to find out, oh, wait a minute, it's not a white male, he's Hispanic. But in the heat of the moment, you just go with what you first do. But when you use that to identify somebody that committed a crime, that's dangerous. Because all y'all look alike. Which I've never understood how black people could ever look alike. We have every shade of the diaspora. Other people got one. Like, I don't understand that. I've never understood that. So, I gotta say, for the person on X, I vote with you. That's garbage. She know how to tell white people. She just wanted some publicity. She just wanted somebody to go, oh. But then somebody wrote that, well, they do it to us so often I don't feel bad. I don't understand how a white person might think black people look alike. I can't for the life of me. Like, every single thing about black people is different. Skin tone, shade. Yeah, I can see because there's some short black people. So, okay. Can y'all tell I don't like short people? Can y'all tell? I just don't like short people. You know why I don't like short people? Because I used to be short. And I got teased and talked about and ridiculed, and I said, never again. Never again. But there's no way you can tell me that you don't, like, recognize white people. That's the most bizarre thing I've ever heard. That is the most bizarre thing I've ever heard. But, you know, I'm just one guy, right? I told y'all it was Pop-Off Friday, so, you know, you're just going to have to grin a bit. But ain't nobody really believing her. You know what? Before I go to my number two, let me... What am I wrong about? Somebody said, how bad is the drinking in South Milwaukee? I'm like, it's a white suburb. How bad you think it is? Okay. He does sound like Glenn. Got y'all turned all the way around. Wait, what's his name? Is really Greg? I think see, that's why I said Greg. It's Friday. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. His name is Glenn. Gee. Dr. Ken, you are wrong for watching them. Why am I wrong? And how can I talk to you when I'm doing my show? You're talking about don't curly Q. And Lana Banana. Not really a girl. That was harsh. Well, I mean, studies have shown people can tell same race people better than different race people. That's not a bad thing, I don't think. I don't have a problem with that. That's just life. Right? Isn't it? I think.
Number 2.
All right, so here's the deal. This is from JS Online. Deborah Nash had spoken to her brother Sam only minutes before she received a family member's text on April 8th that his apartment building was on fire. She rushed to his home on West Capitol and asked the firefighter about her brother. The firefighter assured her all the building's tenants were out. Over an hour later, she learned that wasn't the case. Sam's son had entered the third-floor apartment and found his father inside, lying on the floor. He attempted to give him CPR before running down to tell authorities he found his father. The medical examiner's office would later declare Nash, 71, dead at a local hospital at 5 o'clock, over 2.5 hours after the fire was reported. Milwaukee firefighters have failed to find bodies in the past. What happened that day and why Nash wasn't found is being investigated by the fire department, which it should probably be investigated by an outside fire department. The Milwaukee Police Department is classifying the fire as suspicious. While searching for a known suspect, it's left Nash's family members seeking justice and answers. Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky said it is not clear there is a mistake made by firefighters, which is true. Now, when I first read this story, well, let's find out what happened first. Like, I don't know. We don't know why. So when I first read it, I thought that, wow, they're going to sue. This person's in the office, and they can do this and that and this. But I thought, well, wait a minute. What if he was in another part of the building? They checked, he wasn't there, or he ran in to go get something. Because, people do things when they panic, right? I got to go get I left my wallet inside. Well, you can replace pretty much anything except your life. And so that may have happened too. So the fire department is investigating. Now, as I just read through this story this time, the first time I went, Chief Lipsky, I don't know if that's really, but now I think about it, you have to find out where he was before the fire. Did he come home? Did he walk into the smoke? Like, all those things have to be investigated. Were there cameras in the place? Stuff like that. And so I think it's important to take time, and let's not sue just because did they miss him or was he not there? And then came later. Like, we don't know. Was he in another apartment, and as they moved, he moved? Like, myriad things could be going on, but we don't know until they actually check. And so, like I tell you about police, fire, lawyers, medical doctors, let's take some time and wait to see whether or not this thing really plays out. This is weird. So my computer has decided that it doesn't want to work for me. So all I can do
Number 1
is hit number 1. From the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, the CDC has denied Milwaukee's request for help with MPS lead poisoning probe. Then they said RFK Jr. /jobs. So Milwaukee Health Department asked for help from the lead poisoning investigation unfolding at MPS. City officials made a request for help called EpiAid to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. They denied the request due to the complete loss of our lead program. After all, its workers were laid off. So here's my problem with that. You ready? They were laid off. Absolutely true. They denied it due to complete loss of their lead people at the CDC. Here's my question. Why in God's name are you calling the CDC when you know you have to mitigate the lead paint? If you're calling the CDC for what to do, instead of a lead mitigation company, that's dumb by itself. You already know you have it. What do you need experts to tell you that you have lead in every single part of a building? In the walls, on the floor, in the gym? Why? You already know. What was the CDC going to help you do? They sought help from a team of people for 2 weeks. You need an expert on lead hazards to tell you you got lead when you already tested and know you got lead in every single building? What are you doing? In the time you're wasting sitting around, you could be testing and removing kids and testing. You just fired the guy that's in charge of maintenance, right? So who's going to take his place? How are we going to move forward? When you follow the idiocy that schools do because they want a committee for everything. You want a committee for the health department. We need a committee for the city. And that's what we got. Nothing. Lots of work, spending lots of money. Though Milwaukee health officials have pledged to continue their work, they face a massive undertaking at MPS where the scope of lead contamination is unknown and feared to be more widespread. Are you stupid or what? If you got a building that's so many years old, it's got lead. About 125 of them were built before lead-based paint was banned. Then identify the 125 buildings and start there. This only underscores the importance that local public health plays in protecting communities and the challenges we now face without federal expertise. What federal expertise do you think you need? And you're the health department. Are you saying you're incompetent? It sounds like you're saying you're incompetent. It sounds like you're saying that there's nowhere else you can check. The only place you can go is another government entity. We have private entities that could help you tomorrow. You need a lead expert to tell you you got lead poisoning in buildings where you know you use lead paint and kids have already tested positive. Let's start work. You got a child poisoned by lead at Golda Meir. You've now had 7 identified as having lead hazards. 7 schools. Some of them were closed for lead remediation. But you know that's not going to be enough. They said they wanted to go to the CDC for this. Develop a strategy to test MPS students for lead poisoning. What kind of strategy do you need? You're the health department. You know how to test people. If we could test people for COVID, we can test significantly less people than that. You tested darn near the whole city. Over 1 million people for COVID, and you can't test how many thousand kids in MPS? Makes no sense. Develop a questionnaire to screen students for lead poisoning. You needed the federal government to help you write a questionnaire. You're an idiot. Yes, I said it, George. Building a database to track data collected from testing and the screening questionnaire. I'm pretty sure, let me see, Microsoft, Google, what's that other database company? Can't think of the name of it. Yeah, you'll find it. Increase awareness of lead poisoning and testing. Really? We already know. Increase outreach to community, parents, school nurses. Why? They already know there's lead. Test them. We have less thought partner. What is a thought partner? What kind of idiocy is that? A thought partner? If you moved as much as you thought, we'd probably have no lead in Milwaukee right now. It's not like you didn't know that we had the lead. It's not like you didn't know that these kids were walking into and from lead all the time. Wayne, that's not nice. Wayne, that's not nice. and said, I like it when you're not crabby, Dr. Ken. I like your laughter. I prioritize education for my children, made sacrifices for private schools. I know. I did too. And when we come back, we're going to talk about that. What are the things that you do that you prioritize to help your children? Because watch this. The same stuff you do for your kids is the same stuff MPS needs to do for lead. It's kind of simple. But then again, what do I know?
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Join your boy Tory Lowe and the Truth Team for our community cleanup on Saturday, April 12th. Go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up to volunteer at one of our 3 cleanup locations. Everyone who joins gets a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today by visiting truthcommunitycleanup.com. Bring the whole family to help clean our city. The Tory Lowe Cleanup is presented by 1MKE and sponsored by Cousin Subs, Ray's Coca-Cola, Landmark Credit Union, U.S. Cellular, and Waste Management.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do, but I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Brewers baseball is here. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Don't miss any of the big games or the superstars. And come back for the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's every game all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
One call, that's all.
One call, that's all. Hey, Truth Nation, now's your chance to be our one call, that's all. Gruber 5K giveaway entry for the day. Yes, you can be entered in to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. Be caller number 5 right now at 833-212-1017, and you will be entered in to win $5,000 if we pick you. If you're caller number 5 with the winning 1017 The Truth and Gruber Law Offices 5K giveaway. Again, that's caller number 5 at 833-212-1017. Remember, if you or your loved one has ever been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices. Visit them at gruber-law.com. For official contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com. Caller number 5. So here's the deal. So who was it? Ann? Who said that? I think it was Ann that said that. Let me see if that was Ann. Yep, I think it was Ann. It was Ann that said IBM makes databases. Who makes databases? Google, best company for databases. Why don't you use the same? Oracle. Yep, that was it. Oracle. Oracle. If you ask right, they might do it for free. Might do it for free. I'm just saying. So, who was it? I prioritize education for my children, make sacrifice for private schools. That's what Ann said. So that's what I did. That's what we did. We were able to struggle and pay. So it was enough because we thought we had it when one kid was in private school and we was like, woo, we can do this. And then we got 2. And they were 5 years apart. And you know, as your kids get older, the tuition gets a little more, but also you're paying double. And there was no discount for having 2 kids in one private school. Oh, it was crazy. Matter of fact, let me think. Did my daughters ever? Yes, they did. They both went to the same school at the same time for like a hot minute. And then one left, and then the other one stayed there, and then the other one left. And so we were able to do that and then pay for high school. Now, if you think it was crazy, try paying for high school and elementary school, private school. So when you're dealing with the fact that at the time, like, I don't even know what school tuition is about now, but I can only imagine it's around $8,000-$9,000, maybe even 10. And I was paying for high school. So it was kind of tough. It was really tough. So, but we did it. And then paid for high school and college at the same time. And then college. But you did it. Why? Because education is that important. You sacrifice what you need. And there was a lot of stuff I didn't do and a lot of places I didn't go because I worked in the private sector. I'm sorry, I worked in the public sector, not the private sector, and I didn't make the kind of money where I could do those things. And so now I have 2 highly successful children who are going on and doing great things. So, you know, when we talk about Ann said everybody go out for a nice fish fry. Is that a Catholic thing? I think so. And before we go to break, Ann said, I don't believe that our president wants to be a dictator. I think he gets frustrated with unaddressed inefficiency, stupidity, and outside threats. I don't know. And I know you said that you were still upset about the mandated COVID shots, but there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do. It's over. All I can say is move on. And now with the traffic on 1017 The Truth, here is Debbie Lazaga.
We still have some big delays on northbound 43 coming up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to Keefe. Southbound, it's doing a little bit more manageable. We've got delays from North Avenue down through the Marquette to the KK River. Westbound 94 slowing from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side got backups from just before Highway 164 all the way past Barker Road. Back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange all the way to about 27th. And then on southbound 41, backing up from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. And checking the TMJ for Storm King forecast tonight, mostly clear, frost with a low of 34. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and pleasant, a high of 54 at the lake, 60 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's 414 Day Weekend, Milwaukee, and we're going big. Come hang with Jammin' with Juice live at Clicks in Shorewood this Saturday, April 12th from 1 to 3 p.m. We're celebrating the city at Clicks as they drop their latest 414 Day shoe with Adidas. They'll have custom sneaker art by Alexander John, flash tattoos by MGN Studios, and food from Toya's Kitchen. It's all going down at 1916 East Capitol Drive in Shorewood. Don't miss the vibes, the art, the food, and all things Milwaukee.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Sherwin Hughes with his truth.
Most people don't know that a county executive is a higher elected position than a mayor. Most people don't know what a state assembly representative does, a state senator, nor their function in overall state government. Most people, in fact, don't know what a school board representative actually does. Ask a person who their county board supervisor is, and they'll likely shrug their shoulders. Also, most people don't vote. We're in for a world of hurt. If we don't know the functions of our government at the very basic level, then we are not nearly equipped for what is going to happen to this nation for the next 4 years. All they had to do was tell unsophisticated folks gas prices are too high, inflation is too high, bacon and eggs cost too much. It's this guy's fault. It's this party's fault. Vote for us. Don't think about the criminal prosecutions. Don't think about all the malfeasance. Don't think about all of the misconduct and the corruption. We're going to make your bacon cheaper. We're going to make your eggs cheaper. We're also going to gut the FBI. We're also going to gut anything related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're going to shred this nation from the top to the bottom, all in favor of a handful of folks. How about this? Let's tell people that immigrants are actually the problem. And then Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk will bring in the most highly trained immigrants this nation has ever seen. Why? Because Americans are none the wiser. Don't believe me? Look at public school children's performance, not just in Milwaukee, not just in Wisconsin, but nationwide. Get ready for a long ride, ladies and gentlemen. A very long ride.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snime. The Milwaukee Brewers dropping a tough one on Thursday afternoon in Game 3 out there in Colorado. They lose to the Rockies by a final score of 7-2. The loss dropping the Brewers to an overall record of 7-6 on their season. They'll face Arizona tonight to begin a 3-game series. That first pitch all set for 8:40. Next up, we'll head to the NBA where the Milwaukee Bucks get win number 6 in a row, 136-111 over the New Orleans Pelicans. The win improving the Bucks to an overall record of 46-34. They entered the day number 5 in the Eastern Conference playoff race. Head coach Doc Rivers after the game on heading into the playoffs.
I'm looking forward to it. I think the crowd in Detroit's going to be amazing. They're going to play hard. They're going to play well, and we're going to have to match it. I can't pick up a better scenario going into the playoffs.
The Bucks and Pistons tonight from Detroit. That tip-off is set for 6 p.m. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. You know, there are times in everyone's life when life tosses a curveball and you got to readjust and change and realign and rededicate your resources to make things better. You know, sometimes you may know what to do, but many times it's the first time you've ever had to face an issue, especially when it's financial. So for the last couple of decades, I've been able to turn to Educators Credit Union. I've had financial issues that have involved another family member, and I was able to get in and get advice and get a plan, and I'm here to tell you it worked. At Educators, our members are our purpose. As a credit union, we're not concerned about profits or the bottom line of shareholders. Our greatest reward is you achieving your financial dreams through lower rates and access to free financial resources. Experience more heart and less hassle by making the switch today. Achieve more at ECU.com. Insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility required. 833-212-1017 is the number.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tory Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube every day from 1 to 4. I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tory Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube. Now that's powerful.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ever had a question about local services, neighborhood events, civic engagement, or ways to get more involved in the community and just didn't know who to ask? That's where 1MKE comes in. 1MKE is a nonpartisan coalition helping Milwaukee residents to find trusted information and easy opportunities to get civically engaged. Want to plug into a neighborhood event, find community services, give back through volunteering? 1MKE is here to help. Learn more and get involved at 1mke.org. That is 1mke.org. We are 1MKE.
Are you looking for an opportunity to better the Milwaukee community? Do you want to develop your skills for a career or job? City of Milwaukee is recruiting for its 16th cohort of AmeriCorps members. We are hiring young adults ages 18 to 25 to serve our amazing scholars in Milwaukee Public Schools. This opportunity allows you to serve your community and gain professional development, which will allow you to enter the workforce, your next educational journey, or even stay with us for a second year of service. Visit cityyear.org to connect with our local recruiters and learn how to apply by Friday, May 2nd.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Make sure you don't forget, tomorrow, 4th Annual Tory Lowe Community Cleanup, 8 to 12. You might want to be there. Go to Truth Community Cleanup ToryLoweCommunity.com. Sign up, know where we're at, see the locations, and come hang out. Tory Lowe Community Cleanup this Saturday. That's tomorrow, 8 to 12. Presented by 1MKE. We are 1MKE and sponsored by Cousin Subs, U.S. Cellular, Landmark Credit Union, Ray's, Coca-Cola, and Waste Management. If you register for the last cleanup site, you will get free lunch. Provided by none other than Cousin Sub. Come check it out. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tory Lowe Show's coming up next. I'm going to be on a rebroadcast. I don't know, am I on at midnight or 11 o'clock or something like that? I should probably find out so I can tell people I'm on again if you missed it. But be that as it may, it's going to be a great weekend. It should be a little warmer. I think the high this weekend is going to be around 54, so y'all going to lose y'all mind and go do crazy stuff. Just don't end up on TV, okay? Hey, God bless. Take care. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, DJ Brother C. He gone. All right. And thank you, Kyle. Hey, God bless. Take care. I'm out.